And welcome in to this week's episode of Craze's Corner. The NFL draft is right around the corner. So for this episode, we're going to be talking about running backs. We have a running back each and where we think they best fit. The other show we're recording is going to be about wide receivers, so go check that show out as well if you haven't already. I'm joined by Jeff and Will from media. How are we doing, guys? We excited for the draft? Every team still has their own first round pick, so every team has some sort of excitement going into night one. We got a few teams here that we're going to talk about, some guys. I'm going to start us off with maybe a guy who might sneak into round one. Will and I were talking before the show. We think running backs are going to go a little bit higher than people are expecting. Hampton apparently has the floor of being picked 20, so we could see two running backs in the top 20 and then maybe one or two more near the end of the first. But for running back, I'm going to start us off talking with is Travion Henderson, explosive running back, and performed extremely well at the Combine. You're looking at a guy who's got big play abilities, averaged 7.1 yards per carry this past season for Ohio State, and I think he would be a perfect fit in the Dallas Cowboys offense. Put him on a team that needs a starting running back in an offense with Dak coming back, with CeeDee Lamb that has explosive potential. I think this is an opportunity for him where he will get volume, and I think he is bound to break multiple big plays throughout the season. So you're going to be a guy that's going to get volume, and he also has that big play potential, kind of like a Devon Achane, where he just needs one play and he's got an 80-yard touchdown. So you look at a guy like that, I think he's going to fit perfectly in Dallas, and I think he would be a good fantasy option if he does end up in Dallas. What do you guys think about Travion Henderson, and do you like his fit in Dallas, Jeff?
I do. There's a number of guys that can fit in Dallas, and it's better than anything they got on their roster right now. So, I think the only knock on him is just he may not be as big as they like, but Zeke wasn't that big either. I think that he could be just like Zeke was when he started out with the Cowboys, which lasted for a good 5 years with good production. Then after that, we all know the story. But yeah.
And Pollard wasn't big either.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's better than anybody they got right now. And I think it would be, and he should be there by the time they pick.
Mm-hmm. Will, what do you think about? You're in Dallas, close to the action. What do you think about Henderson?
Just don't say Zeke with him. Don't do the Cowboy fans. You're going to trigger.
You got the Ohio State ties.
Like I don't think anyone wants to relive that here. They're trying to move on. So I think Dallas needs a running back. I know some of the mocks have them going like wide receiver first, running back in the second. I don't know. I could see them taking running back in the first. Cowboys need help. They need the O-line. But I think he is a very good fit for what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff, what running back are you going to be talking about today, and where do you want him to land?
Well, I think the Steelers, they've already have their third down back still. So I think if they got a big guy, maybe in the third round, if he's still available, Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. He is a big pounding back that actually has speed as well. And I just think he'd be a perfect fit. I think that's what they were missing with Najee Harris. He could do some things, was not that speedy, and he wasn't that big. So this guy compares both. You guys understand, I like guys like Derrick Henry. I think this guy could be that in a perfect, getting back to the hard-hitting run game of the Steelers. Him and Warren would be a good tandem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would be a good fit in Pittsburgh. I think he'll be there probably in the second round if Pittsburgh wants to go running back, if they want to go with him that high. Because like I said, I think running backs are going to go higher than a lot of people expect. So he could be a guy that Pittsburgh looks at in the second. And you're right, he does pair well with Warren. I think that what the Steelers thought they had in Najee Harris was a pounding running back, a guy that was going to be able to be a goal line guy and was just going to be able to break tackles. So hopefully, if they do go that direction, Caleb Johnson can maybe live up to a little bit more of the hype than we saw with Najee near the end of his rookie deal. Will, what do you think about that pairing?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Pittsburgh don't got a second though, So
They don't.
they have to so it makes you. That's why I said could a running back go in the first that we're not expecting to go in the first because I'm not sure everybody wants to trade down this year, right?
Mhm.
Fire was part of the reason why nobody's moved their first round pick yet. So if you have to look at this draft board and know where the depth is, there's running back depth, but there's tiers, right,
Mhm.
of top to everybody else, and I don't know if you can wait to the third round to get a.
Yeah, Steelers might have to trade up to get
Yeah.
their running back.
This is what I think they're going to do. They're going to trade back
from the first.
First and the second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can do that. But again, like Will said, every team wants to trade back this year. So we'll see how many teams can actually pull it off. Who are you moving up to get at the Steelers pick there? I don't know. But Will, a guy that teams would definitely want to trade up for, a guy who could go top 5.
Genty. I wasn't really. I was look. I have, as y'all know, I got the first pick in our draft, and of course, everything's mocked to him in fantasy. But I was a little concerned because it was like Raiders. But when Pete Carroll got there, Mr. Carroll, who's old school and is going to run the ball 1,000,000 times a game. Yes, please, Raiders, please don't screw this up because I am. If he gets past the Raiders, then I'm a little nervous. I guess the Broncos would be okay, but it just seems like he is the perfect fit for a Raiders team right now.
Can you
would excel
that sentence?
What?
Restate that sentence.
What?
Please, Raiders, don't screw up. That's exactly what they do.
Zach said they were looking at offensive linemen, and I'm thinking, no, you get offensive linemen in the third round this year that are please don't.
They can. We'll see what direction the Raiders go, but Genty would be a great fit in that offense. They definitely need someone outside of Brock Bowers to do something on that team, and if it's going to be in the running back position, that's a great way to help at quarterback as well. We'll see. Aiden O'Connell
real quick. Is there a team that if he got drafted by Genty, you in fantasy, you'd be like, Jets. Oh, this hurts the Jets. Yeah.
If the Raiders pass on him and he goes to the Jets at 7, that's
19 running backs.
Yeah, but they like running backs there apparently, and they just brought in a new defensive-minded head coach. So who's to say they won't want to go run it? But if he goes to the Jets, he could. If he falls past the Raiders, maybe he ends up in Dallas. So I think he should get volume.
One team the whispers I've read a couple times is 49ers are sniffing around.
Oh, no. You don't want that for Ashton Genty.
You really don't.
No,
but
again,
I don't think that rumor's far off.
They have too many. They need to go offensive line in every round of this upcoming draft. That's what they need to do. Is what the
if you're gonna pay Brock Purdy.
Yep.
This is why I think there's a little bit more truth to this rumor about moving McCaffrey. I'm just they got to do something. They haven't signed Purdy yet.
Nope, they're going to draft all offensive line, sign Purdy, and it's going to be the McCaffrey show this year. And that'll be. I would not want Genty to fall if McCaffrey's on the team and Genty's there. That'd just be a mess for fantasy. Ruin.
Oh, it would just ruin it.
Yeah. And so let's not put that out into the atmosphere. Let's have him back in Las Vegas. So there's 3 running backs that could find themselves in optimal positions after next week's draft. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, we are recording a wide receiver episode as well, so you can go check that one out. We have 3 wide receivers and where they should fall. So go check that out. Thank you, Jeff and Will, for joining me, and make sure you guys go check out Media. We'll see you in the next show.
All right.